Hey everyone, Glimpse here, and today we're joined with C2 Furina right here. I don't think I talked to you guys about this yet, but right here, C2, I had about 20 pity, so I got super lucky, and then I kind of just kept pulling until I got another 5-star and got Kaching C6 again, which I already had. So yeah, looks like we're not going to be, we're going to save from now on, even though I just did like 5 pulls off camera, just to see if I get lucky for this video. But let's go ahead and test out C3 Furina. I actually haven't tested this out yet. It's been a couple days, and I kind of want to finally test it out. So we're gonna first start out with Neuvillette. And okay, so I already made the whole video about C1 today. We're gonna see if C2 actually makes a noticeable difference. So C1 literally just increases. Okay, so real quick rundown for those of you that don't know the full thing. Furina herself has fanfare stacks. The fanfare stacks increase the amount of damage you do. And this one originally at level 10 can get you 75% damage bonus. Pretty much when you get C1, that 75 damage bonus, the cap goes up to 100% damage bonus. And the what's it called? The buff, that's the word. The buff at the start of the burst actually does more. The buff starts out at a higher level, so you basically just increase the average, I guess, the average buff that you're giving to your team. So overall, C1 is a pretty nice one, and people talk about C2 a lot. C3 is literally just a burst increase, which of course is really good. But they say if the higher you get the talent level up, once you already get it to 10, they say that going from 75 to 100 damage buff is definitely a much bigger increase than going from 100% damage buff to 125%, which I believe you get from this. I'm pretty sure it's 125, but if not, it's somewhere around there. So yeah, it's kind of just diminishing returns. Like after a certain amount of crit rate, after a certain amount of crit damage, like you're not going to get as big of a buff. Same thing with EM, where like if you're trying to do a burst hit damage, you only want a certain amount of EM. Otherwise, after a while, you just get diminishing returns, and it's not too big of a deal. So while I do want C3, I want the 50/50. It's not that big of a deal. You don't need to go full crazy. They say up to C2 Furina is going to be really good. So C2 right here, normally you get one fanfare stack. So with this one, with C1, you get an increase in 100. So I'm pretty sure. What was the max fanfare stacks? It's like 300 or something. It doesn't say. Okay, here it is, 300. And then with C1, you get an increase by 100, so 400 right here, 400 fanfare stack. Normally, they say that her gain. Okay, so normally characters get one fanfare stack of the 400 for every 1% of HP change. But now that is increased by 250%. So overall, that makes it much quicker to get the fanfare stacks and get it maxed out. Then everything above the limit will increase her max HP by 0.35%. So maximum HP increase is 140%. So you can increase her HP quite a bit. Now, I just rolled this artifact for her a couple days ago that I do want to see if this will boost her HP enough. Because right now, like the max buff her, the extra buff that her E will get from these characters. Let's see. Not that. Okay. So every 1,000 points, maximum up to 28%. So I've heard that pretty much the maximum buff. So basically, your E little summon guys, they get a damage buff based on how much HP she has. When I'm in a double Hydro team with everything, she's at 38,000. And this one artifact that I just leveled will lower the HP a bit, but she gets a lot more crit rate. So the ratio looks pretty solid. I have enough crit right now, 74, 168. Let me show you the crit ratio right here. So it goes down to 34, and then 82, 167. So the crit ratio is a bit better, but you do lose some HP. So I'm going to be messing around with it. In my mind, this 25% HP is pretty solid, but I feel like I want to see how much increase is like attainable to get with C2 to see if that's worth, or like how easily it reaches over 40,000 HP. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, haven't tested it. So we're going to do this right here first time together on stream. So Baizu's pretty good healer. That's going to do a lot. And Neuvillette's changing his HP all the time. So this should be pretty easy to get max stacks on Furina. So there's the quick rundown. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so this is Midnight Masanori. So... Okay. Okay, so I bet that my HP is switching a lot right there, so let's take a quick look. Oh my gosh, Furina's at 60,000 HP now. What the hell? Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess... Let me see, am I at... Oh yeah, I'm at max fanfare stacks, okay. And let's see. Oh my gosh, did I just see 100k from one of those summons? I think I did. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Okay, now you can go ahead and rewind that if you are not totally sure, but I think I just saw 101,000 on one of those summons, like right before it ended. Because his HP was full 1 second, and then the next second it definitely wasn't. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, literally, the only problem with Furina is that she kills things too quickly to get your energy back. I never really had this problem before. So, I know that they say what is it, C4? Yeah. So C4, pretty much... Okay, so she restores 4 energy, happens once every 5 seconds. So pretty much C4, I've heard, makes her a lot less energy hungry. Which, I mean, definitely is a pretty cool bonus. But once we... Dude, I feel like that's a slippery slope. Like, the reason I'm not really going too hard for C3 is because then I'll be like, oh, it's pretty close to C4, and then it'll fix her energy. And then next thing you know, oh, but C4 is pretty close to C6. It's like, I don't want to work... That's back, okay. Here, now I do want to try a team that's not double Hydra and see if she's... how much lower the HP gets. Yeah, pretty basic thing, just real quick. Double Hydro, increase max HP by 25%. So it is a pretty nice little buff there. But, let me just throw him back on the team. I've been running him. Okay, now I want to try him here too. Wriothesley, I've been playing a lot recently. Okay. So yeah, you guys have seen a lot going on with... Oh, I forgot to switch the character. You guys have seen a lot of Wriothesley play recently. I've been playing him a lot. So, we'll see how quickly this seems to clear. And then the Cryo Dendro, there's not going to be too much problem between those reactions. I do need a... Okay. I believe I already mentioned it. C2 Ryo as well. So I need to make a video talking about that. Just saying like how much the burst increase actually was. Which I think is pretty cool. And then whenever he comes back around, maybe try for C3 on Ryo. But like I said, he's... I'm not going to push it too hard. I do have him double crown. He's talent levels right now are 10, 10, 8. Okay, let me show you him really quickly. Okay, so right now, 54, 221 on this artifact set, so plus 36% crit right there. I have him on signature weapon, level 90, C2 right there, and there's 10, 10, 8. So, pretty quick rundown. Let's, oh, don't do that. Okay, so now we're going to be swirling. Okay, so we've been switching our HP a bunch. Let's see what she's at. 56k right there. Yeah, that's pretty solid. And then let's look at her... Yeah, so let's look at those summon damage right there. Okay, yeah. Their damage is all down now that their burst is gone. So let's just get some energy back really quickly. Just right here, I'm not really trying to do too much there. You can kind of... So, how long does the burst, or the HP increase actually last? I believe it's just... Okay, so it just says while it lasts. Yeah, so while the burst lasts that whole time, she gets the buff there. Which overall, that's pretty solid. And then, here you go, you guys get to see one of the... I mean, no real need for it, but in the overworld, I guess it is pretty nice for when you're kind of just half paying attention. But yeah, you saw that HP drain pretty quickly. Okay, so now I do kind of just want to try just seeing how quickly this goes through if you're not just like testing it out. Let's just use everything and kind of see how quickly this goes down. Okay, so yeah, let's see. You're definitely seeing some pretty respectable numbers from... Okay, while her burst is max, let's see what we got. Those are all like 30k numbers, so... Yeah, that overall pretty damn cool. I want to test her a bit more with her burst, and later on I will go ahead and test out to see if... what's it called? If I can switch that artifact over just for some more career. Either way, it's not going to change it that much. It's not that big of a deal. I just want to see like if I can get it consistently enough on other teams and how much less damage it'll do without that like 20% HP. Let's teleport away really quickly, and then last thing I wanted to try is I want to try it with a DPS that's not one that's not a Fontaine character. So here's the thing. The Fontaine characters, most of the DPS so far, have been changing their own HP, which is why I want to try it on one that's not changing their HP. Another thing that's really good about C2... Okay, so in previous constellations, you can pretty much reach the max fanfare stocks pretty easily with Fontaine characters, but I want to try it on this character right here, Sino. I do want to try it on like a Diluc and Zhao team and stuff more. Let's see, I don't really think it's that big of a deal for Child. But yeah, there's a lot of other teams I want to try, but this is one of the main ones I want to try. So this will be the last one I try in this video. Because Sino's a character that I've really loved for a while, and he just never really had the... he didn't really have the resources working for him when he was first released. Then like Nahida came out, then Baizu, and now Furina. It seems like his team's pretty much complete. In my head, this is probably going to be his best performing team, but I don't know, who knows, we'll see. Did I dodge that or not? I don't think I took any damage from it, but it sent me back. That's fine. Okay. So now last test right here. I'll probably test off camera some more Diluc builds and stuff. Because Diluc's character I love, but you know, not the not the best damage wise overall. Oh, he's over here. I was confused for a second. It's currently 3:30 a.m. while recording this. Okay. So now let's see how quickly... Okay, so real quick, just pretty much when you get like that really strong border around the sides, that's when you know that Furina has max fanfare stacks. Okay. So... Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, wait, so let's just double check right here. Yeah, still 56k. Oh, he's blocking a bunch. That's what's going on here. Yeah, no blocking. Look, oh my gosh, dude, that's crazy. Wow. Once again, okay, that one's actually pretty close to getting our burst back. Sino might need a bit more ER. But I feel like if his duration with the full time, like if he survived the full rotation, he would have got his energy back. Wow, yeah, literally Furina is definitely very energy hungry, but wow, I'm impressed. Let's just get this energy back really quickly while I give some closing thoughts. Overall, yeah, C2 is pretty sick. So, yeah, you got the stacks pretty easily because pretty much just with any team-wide healer, works pretty solid with C2. You know, so it's definitely less limiting. Dude, I was just zoning out talking and accidentally killing him, but it's fine, we got all our energy. So yeah, the main problem with Furina before was like some limitations team-wise, and then C1 even helps with the limitations and gives a bit of a buff. Just buffs the buff overall, so pretty nice. And then C2 makes it pretty much so. I mean, even Baizu alone himself was definitely very helpful with running Furina. He's the one I've been using the most because I just really like the way they work together. Yeah, I've been running Baizu pretty much since he came out. Um, yeah, I made a bunch of videos pulling for him. I was talking about his insane healing capabilities, and now they're fully able to be appreciated. I guess kind of like how people say that Chi-Chi overhealed and like you didn't need that much healing. Now it's like Baizu does insane overhealing, where it's actually useful now, and he pretty much uses no field time. Like people talk about Noel, which I mean, again, then you kind of have to on-field Noel. People talk about what was I saying? People talk about Yao Yao a lot as being a replacement to him. Personally, I would disagree simply for the field time. I mean, of course, Yaya is still going to work fine, and you can run her perfectly fine. If you don't have Baiju, that's fine. Don't feel like necessary to pull Baiju. You could run Jean perfectly fine. But, I don't know, just personally, I've kind of think he's the perfect healer to go with this, and it just works great. I do want to run Jean on some more teams, and same thing with Charlotte. But, like I said, my Jean, when I first built her, I kind of just did it halfway. Like, I have a weapon here, and I just have her on max bunch of attack stuff, and then this is just like attack. Oh, that's ER, I guess. ER, attack. I do want to switch this over to a Viridescent set, then give it a couple more tries, but I just don't have the Viridescent pieces currently. Yeah, definitely could use some work on those. Same thing with Charlotte. I don't have the level up materials. We're 59, and yeah, I've been working on it passively. I talked about it a bit last time and gave a quick Charlotte rundown, but I think she's pretty cool, and I want to run her like specifically with Wriothesley. So I definitely think it's really cool how Furina now is able to run with. She doesn't need. I mean, she never needed a Fontaine DPS, but I mean, even with just regular healers, like any team-wide healer you have now is gonna make this viable, or make Furina like super easy to play, because you don't necessarily need. Like, okay, you can run her without a team-wide healer, but it's just normally it's a lot less efficient. So in my personal opinion, C2 pretty damn useful. That was actually really cool. Um, seeing how much it shot up her HP. So her own personal damage went crazy, and then it gave us the buff much quicker, which means you're doing all that extra damage in the middle there. So yeah, it's just like, especially when Masanori stopped blocking for a second, and you just see that HP bar go, it just shoots down. That's really insane. Um, but yeah, not overhyping it or anything. You don't need C2. It's just you guys kind of zero primos, zero wishes. Oh, I have one of these. Watch this. Gold, ready? I mean, the next one's gonna be gold. You'll all see. But yeah, definitely really have enjoyed this character. If you like the character at all, even at C0, she works great. You can look at my video for like before C1, like around the C1 video and before. You can go ahead and take a look at my Furina there. You see that the buff was still definitely noticeable. And with Baizu and everything, I was able to maintain her max buff pretty simply. So just saying here that even C0 Furina is great. And if you don't have her, there's plenty of other options, like you can run Yelan. I know Yelan's a pretty good one. Now, Yelan, definitely the buff isn't as big or not team-wide, but still, like, there's other replacements. No character in the game is necessary to beat all the content in the game. And overall, I do think that C2 is worth it if you just either have wishes or money that you just kind of have lying around, and this is what you choose to spend it on. You don't need to spend money on this game. I'm be with you. Personally, I do, but I never would recommend it to someone unless they like are sure of it, you know. But don't get caught up in the gambling of it all. Just from like personal review, not trying to bait anyone into saying you need to pull for this character. But overall, I do think that the C2 is definitely a pretty nice upgrade. And like even that predicament I was just talking about, where her if I were to go ahead right here and switch her off to this other feather with more crit rate and everything, slightly less HP, then you would lose a bit of HP. You'd lose a bit of the max HP overall, but now C2 might mitigate that. So I'll go back and forth, test with that a bit off camera. Might switch the piece over, like I was saying, not sure. I'll just do some personal testing. Yeah, but overall, I think that was definitely a really cool test. But still, that was really exciting. So, pretty cool. I've actually been meaning to test that a few days, but I'm really glad I got to test it now. So yeah, C2, and these are only level 8. I'm gonna try to the boss. When did the bosses reset for me? I think in like what, like 9 hours or something like that. What day is it? Yeah, it's technically Monday morning. Yeah, so they reset pretty soon. So yeah, it's pretty much this week. I want to try and get some of these, get this town up. This might be the first support that I use a crown on. Personally, I've only done it on DPS, and I do think it'd be pretty cool to crown this. I'll make a video after crowning it and see, like, how much the difference actually is. Because apparently she gets pretty good buffs from her talents. Like, that's up to 19% of her max HP. Overall, that's pretty solid. And then, so her HP goes up higher with C2, and then, so her own personal damage and buffing the current active character's damage. And I mean, well, team-wide as well. It's just overall really cool. So I don't... That's pretty much all I have to describe it there. But yeah, just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great day. If you have made it this far, I just want to say I really appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the deal, and I hope to see you guys in the next few videos. Yeah, alright, have a good one. See ya.